day, good afternoon, good morning, wherever it is you're joining us from. Thank you so much for joining us here today. It is the second webinar of the year 2024 put together by Zest. And if you can hear me, please drop a comment in the comment section. Just drop a hi in the comment section so that I know that you're with us. So thank you so much for joining us today. All right, thank you so much, Dayo Ajayi, for being with us here today. So, like I said, it is the second webinar for the year 2024 put together by Zest Payment. And one of the reasons why we'll do this webinar is to ensure that, merchants and business owners are on track, and we set the tone for the year for, business owners and the likes. Last month, we put together a webinar, the first webinar for the year, and the topic was how to plan your business finances right in 2024. So my name is Maya Wadrojaye, and I'm very thrilled to be your host for today. Today we're going to be discussing something even much more interesting. We know that February is the month of love. February is the month, to celebrate love, and today's topic is how to boost sales this Valentine's period. So I want to say thank you everyone for joining us today. I can assure you that it's going to be worth your time, and you're going to be leaving here with insights and business plans, or rather getting the right insight on how to boost sales, this Valentine's period. So like I said earlier on, February is the month of love. It's the month where we celebrate love, and it's just important for you to know how to boost sales, in the Valentine's period. And that is what today's webinar is going to center on. So today we are joined by two guests who are marketing experts, if I do say so myself, and they'll be sharing with us very practical tips on how to take advantage of seasonal periods just like this, designing campaigns to fit your target audience, how to capture your customers and increase business growth all through the year. So like I said earlier on, today is packed. You're going to have an exciting time, and I cannot wait to hear, our speakers. So I want to say thank you for joining once again, and welcome to the second webinar for Zest Payment for the year 2024. So at this point in time, I'd like you to sit back, relax, and get your notepads ready, get your books ready, get your writing materials ready, because you're going to be learning a lot today. So that's very right that you take down notes from today's discussion. And like I said earlier, insightful nuggets will be shared. So it's just very important that you take down notes. Yes. So basically, right now we have two guests with us, and I'll be introducing them right about now. Our very first speaker for today is Damilola Olalegan. She's a seasoned marketing expert with over 7 years of expertise in content marketing, e-commerce, strategic partnerships, and digital strategy, with the development of successful campaigns such as managing over 200 influencers and achieving over 100% ROI to her name. Damilola is an authority in understanding customer pain points and meeting them. Previously a fashion influencer marketing specialist at Jumia Nigeria for 3 years, she presently works as the digital and media marketing manager West Africa at Godway Consumer Products Limited. So right about now, I would have Damilola have the floor to share with us on today's topic, which is how to boost sales this Valentine's period. So ladies and gentlemen, please let's make welcome Damilola. Right.
Hi.
Thank you very much for joining us, Damilola. You're welcome.
Hi, good afternoon. Can you hear me? I just want to be sure.
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Just...
Hi. So I think you've done the introduction. Just again, my name is Damilola Olalegan. I work at Godrej Nigeria as a digital and media marketing manager for West Africa. I believe you've given a wholesome summary, so I think I'll just wait for Nimide to join for you to introduce the next speaker, and then we can start the conversation.
All right. Okay, thank you very much. So like I said earlier, we'll be having two first joining us. Our second speaker for today is Nimide Falasinu. She is the Vice President of Client Experience here at Zest, which is the fintech subsidiary of Samika IBTC Holding. She's passionate about blending creativity and data for effective storytelling, and also in the design and successful execution of effective products and data-led multimedia marketing strategies to drive business growth. She has led marketing launch and brand penetration of different products and platforms across payments, retail and data management, and media development. She has over 13 years of experience across established brands as well as startups such as Foxconn Africa, Red Media Africa, Style Vitae, Decagon Institute, and Coca-Cola. So, like I said earlier on, we're having two very fantastic speakers today talk to us about how to boost sales this Valentine's period. So, right about now, please let's also make welcome Nimide Falasinu. You're welcome, Nimide. Thank you for joining us today.
Hi, Maiwa. Thank you very much. I'm excited to speak to everyone. I'm mostly excited to, hear and learn from Damilola, who I know personally as an expert in this field.
All right. So very quickly, okay. Let me just hand over to Nimide first of all. I mean, your from your profile, I can see you've been doing this for 13 years, right? So it's just very important at this juncture that you let us know how can businesses boost sales this Valentine's period. Like in your own words, what's the best strategy that you can adopt to boost sales this Valentine's period?
I think, Maiwa, thank you. I feel like you said something when you were doing your introductions, right? And you said that this is a period of love. So first of all, you need to connect to that emotion and all of the things that come with the emotion. So the things that people like to receive that speak about love, and the things that people that like to receive that shows some sort of emotional connection between the giver and the receiver. And so yeah, you've done your research irrespective of what you're selling, mostly for people in the lifestyle space. So you've done your research. You know that men like to receive this, women like to receive this, partners like to receive this, friends like to receive things like this. And of course, you then take advantage by first, ensuring that your inventory really speaks to these items that people would ultimately seek out when trying to gift their partners and their friends or their family during the Valentine. So the first key step is aligning your inventory to the season, and it also applies beyond Valentine. So you align your inventory, align your services, align your operations to the season. So even if you're a bakery for instance, you're aligning the kind of cakes you're baking in that period to the season. So you're doing a lot of like red cherries on top, your decorations, your frosting, all speak to that particular season. So first thing is aligning your inventory to the season.
All right. Thank you very much. So I'm just going to, put this question across to Damlola as well. India has already set the foundation for us, being able to align your inventory to tap into the season. So in your own opinion, how best can businesses, boost sales this Valentine's period?
So I would just still build on what Nimide has said, right? The first thing, which for anyone is that I think away from your designing your products and you should know who your target audience is, right? Because that's very had said stuff of what do men like, what do women like, all of that. So you are not just going to do anything that is broad, because the average person that if you're not business savvy, you just say, okay, I want to sell XYZ, I'm going to open it to everybody. And hey, I'm selling cakes, I'm selling flowers, who wants to get them? But the point is, if you know who your target audience is, you can tailor whatever campaign you want to do to specific people. For instance, let's take for instance, you're selling clothes. Yes, 100% you're selling clothes. They're female clothes. On the average, you think, okay, well, women are the ones that are going to wear these clothes. But because it's Valentine's, not entirely. Mostly, there'd also be men that will be looking to buy clothes for their women. So you need to somewhat know how you coin your campaigns and tailor it. You will still sell to the women, but at the same time, you're coining something for the men, right? Because it's like, okay, it's Valentine's season, buy XYZ for your loved ones. Another thing is maybe you'd even go a step further, add like a gift bit to it, saying, okay, the men might not necessarily know what they're going to give the women, so why not add like a gift card to it? Say, okay, so if you don't know what you're going to give your woman, here's a gift card type thing, and add that. So I think, again, knowing who your target audience is very important at this in a nutshell. So I think we can build on that.
All right, thank you very much, Damilola. So if you're just joining us, welcome once again. So I'd like to let you know that if you have questions, during the course of this conversation, please do not hesitate to drop it in the comments so that, our speakers will answer your questions. Okay, so very quickly, we're talking about Valentine sales, but I'd like to ask, beyond the Valentine sales, how can businesses still, maintain and sustain sales? Damilola, this question is to you.
So how can businesses maintain sales after Valentine's? Okay, so one thing is let's assume that you're starting with Valentine's. Valentine's is the first campaign you're doing and you're putting out. I would expect that the average person, no matter how small your business is, okay, just to be, can you see me properly? Because I think it's letting me know that my internet is acting up. Can you hear me, see
Yes, I can
me
hear you
fairly
very
well?
clearly and we can see it clearly now.
Okay, all right, that's good. So as I was saying, so let's assume Valentine's is your first campaign, right? Okay, how are we going to? One thing you take advantage of is pretty much ads, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, yeah, right? You build, so somewhat you'd have a sense of the people that are trying to buy your product. You build a fan, it's not a fan base, right? You'd actually have a base, yeah, of people, maybe customer base, maybe it can be 10 people, can be 15, it can be 20, it can be 100 people. One way to keep them coming back is this: even if you're not going to be running ads on a day-to-day, a good way to do stuff like that is maybe letters, for instance. It doesn't mean that because you have the customer, you maybe have the email addresses, you have their phone numbers. Newsletters, again, when you think newsletters, a lot of people think maybe that's going to email marketing, but not necessarily. People also push newsletters on WhatsApp. WhatsApp is your broadcasts, quote and unquote, serve as newsletters as well, right? From time to time, you can just send stuff, hey, we're having this, or it might not even be a discount. It might just be something that's selling out fast. And you say, oh, XYZ is selling out fast. You should take advantage of it if you want to. So that's one way to grow your customer base. Another way is just constantly having a social presence, right? Because out of sight is out of mind in any case. Yeah. But if you have, say, you have a calendar where you know that at least maybe 2 times a week you're posting on your social media platforms so people know what you have available. It doesn't even have to be anything new. The point is putting this in people's faces from time to time, and then they would always, so it brings brand recall. If I wanted to get something that was similar to what you have, I would easily just think of, oh yes, I still saw this person's content, and I would, reach out. So those are maybe 2 easy ways to kind of keep your customer base and keep it increasing per time. Yeah, if anything.
All right, thank you very much, Damla. So I'll also be, directing this question to you, Nimide. In your opinion, how can businesses sustain growth, or rather sustain sales even after Valentine's season?
Okay, I think that Dami has mostly touched on a lot of key points, but I would like to build on just the content marketing, right? Businesses think that all they need to do is post about their products and their services, but I mean we understand the importance of just raising awareness on what you do, but there's also like just adjacent stuff that you can do, which is education around the particular industry they are playing with. So let's use the example of the fashion because it's very relatable. So you're selling fashion items, whether for male or for female, but you're constantly just posting the tops you're selling. I mean, wow, that is good, but there's a market, and I mean, there's a need for the consumer to even understand how to wear what they're selling, what you're selling. So you're thinking about putting up tips on how to style black loafers, for instance. Apologies, NEPA has done what NEPA does. But I mean, you're putting on tips on, how to style style loafers, especially if you know that, okay, maybe this is loafer season. Or, this Valentine, for instance, there's a lot of red going on, and people are kind of like tilting away from wearing red every time. So you're thinking, okay, how do you still, insert or infuse the season color into your style without it being very obvious? So you do some kind of like education, style education as a fashion brand, where you're educating people. You don't have to wear red top, red bag, wear red shoe, wear red denim. I mean, you can just wear all black, and then just maybe like an how I put it, like a jewelry can then be that touch of red, that kind of like subtle balance between maintaining what you typically do, but still, aligning with a particular theme. And same goes for, say, Christmas, for instance. A lot of organizations do or end of the year parties and all that. They do all these like annual events, retreats, and you're selling things that fit into that landscape. So maybe you're selling cocktail dresses, you're selling tuxedos for the men, you're selling dinner wear, clutches, and all that. But I mean, beyond just placing your clutch pictures and just say, oh, 10,000 naira, 15,000 naira, like most brands, what can stand you out is just how teaching people how to get the perfect dress for your body size, get the perfect suit for your complexion. All of those other things are what then distinguishes you from just a commerce store that is just selling things and looking to mail sales, or like an ecosystem of information and wealth around that fashion that you want to become a subject matter at. So I mean, in a nutshell, it's really just complementing your sales post, complementing information about your products, your goods, your services with information about that domain that you're existing in. So people refer to you as their pop culture, icon or pop culture place for information beyond what they're selling. And that's how you build communities. A lot of the most successful clothing lines actually started from women or men who literally already had communities in that domain, and then starting up their brand beyond the communities and beyond sharing information with their community.
Yeah, just before Maiwa, just before you go on, I wanted to add something as well in terms of how she said education and building on just the general theme of whatever you're doing, if whatever your category, if it's fashion, if it's beauty, all of that. Then one important thing as well that just occurred to me is you need to upsell, you need to cross sell in whatever you're doing, right? So there's nothing that helps you. I know a lot of, as Nigerians, let's use Nigerians, as a lot of people are all about me, this is what I do, and the only thing I'm going to be selling is what I make, right? But one thing that's really important is your collaboration, right? When you collaborate with people, if you have complementary goods, that also helps because it means that to push so much of the messaging just on my end. For instance, oh, okay, I sell dresses, right? And then I'm partnering with somebody that does shoes per time. We have this collaboration, or it doesn't even have to be that it's a collaboration for the most part, right? You can just have like a package that comes with this and that, or what goes well with this outfit, these shoes from XYZ brand also do well. So that helps you to also push on your end, and it means that the other person as well will help you push your brand, and then it's like 1 + 2 is 3. So why not?
All right, thank you very much, Dami. When you were speaking earlier, you mentioned something about pushing ads, and it just, I just thought of a question, right? That how can businesses come up with innovative promotional tactics, to push their businesses during this period? I know that question is clear. Like, what kind of innovative measures or what kind of innovative tactics can they put together to ensure that the promotions they're putting together is very, very catchy? I mean, they are bringing about very creative ads to push their businesses, especially during this Valentine's period.
Well, so one thing I would say, when Nimide started speaking, she had talked about how this is a season of love. And with love, right, it's a lot of emotions, right? So whatever you're doing should be very much emotive. It should evoke emotions in people. Yeah. For that, I would say if you were running ads as opposed to doing like banners and static stuff, do video, do something. It doesn't even have to be grand, nothing grand to be honest. The most basic of things, as it's emotive, it speaks to love, it speaks to partnership, it speaks to friendship, those kind of things. It's easily relatable, and because your brain, you're already in that, headspace of what this whole season is about. It means that you connect with whatever the communication is better than if it was just very much generic. Your captions as well, all of that should kind of, just speak to the season, the lingo that anyone is familiar with. Okay, I think my network is doing a thing as well. But anyways, biggest thing for me is just, it's Valentine's. Whatever you're doing, let it speak to people's emotions. Let your captions shine through with all the love, all the friendship, all of that. Yeah, that's really it for me.
All right, thank you very much. So, some people would try to maximize sales this period by running discounts, by giving their customers discounts and promotions and the likes. To you, what do such businesses stand to benefit? I mean, they're giving special discounts and the like. So, I mean, it can affect their pricing because they're going to have to probably have to give like a 10%, 5% discount. What are the benefits, of such offerings to, for businesses?
Thank you, Mayowa. So I'll take it from three places. One, you said it can affect their pricing. Luckily, we are still in February. So if you're a business and you've not already done that, it's very essential that when you're developing your business plan as well as your product or service pricing, you're factoring in marketing costs that includes campaigns, so discount campaigns, collaborations, if you're looking for micro influencers to sort of like push your work, or even if it's just digital ads, they all should factor into your planning. I mean, the last webinar at Zest really spoke about how to plan for your businesses. And I mean, if you missed it, I think that we have something, we have it recorded and domiciled at our YouTube channel, which I'll be dropping in the comment section for the audience. So that's one area, just factoring it, like everything you want to achieve this year, the numbers, the things you want to do. So you want to partake in Valentine's. There's the Easter promo coming up. There is Black Friday sometime during the year too. I think around November. So you need to plan all of that ahead and plan that if I'm going to do say 10,000 total out of all these things, this is how I must price from the beginning of the year, also putting into account inflation. So that's pricing on one hand. The second hand is when you're doing discounts, there are two things that discounts imply. They imply that you are paying back your loyal customers, right? And they also imply that you are inducing FOMO in your new customers. So if you tell your customers that, oh, if you bought something, like I see a lot of like Instagram vendors saying that, oh, if you bought something from me before, if you've done this, if you've done that, the next package, you get something free, you get this or you get that. Or sometimes I buy something from someone and they send me, oh, thank you for being a loyal customer. They have just a little bit, some tiny thing that I typically always like to it. And so for conversations like that, you're looking at it from I'm rewarding my customers, right? And that always means that you sustain that buying and selling relationship beyond them, because they tend to then feel like you see them, right? When you recognize them, you have the data, you know that this person always buys from me, and then they in turn just repaying them back. But there is also the FOMO, because when you give something, and if you're a smart brand, you're large scale or medium, and you say that, oh, for instance, I bought something from a platform yesterday on the Zest marketplace, one of our storefronts. And when they delivered that package to me, they said that they were doing some Valentine package. And if I tag Valentine promotion, and if I tag one particular hashtag, I'll get some coupon, right? So the brand is not only giving you, but then they are also using that to induce user generated content. So I mean, if I want to win that, I need to then tag just the way the instructions that they've given me in that little card. So I need to then do that so that I win, and I'll also, I'll spend that coupon. I'm not taking the money away because it's a coupon, it's not cash. So I'll be spending it on the platform. So it's win-win. So you're doing that for your loyal customer, but then for new customers, because of that shareability that has happened, all those content that have been generated by your loyal customer. So somebody tagging, oh, thank you for putting this in my package. Thank you for this. Thank you for sharing this. Thank you for, making me win this and all that. And, people are looking at that and they also want to just partake in it. And we're people of, we don't want to miss out on anything. So it's very, very easy to induce FOMO in this climate. And then the third thing would be around just, understanding that these are seasonal campaigns. So I want to, Valentine is coming. I have this X amount of goods, and this X amount of goods, I want to be able to sell them off because I've sort of like aligned my inventory with this season. And so I want to sell them off. I want to rush it. So when you buy it, the first thing you know is that, so you have 100 pieces of cake that you want to sell within a 14-day period because it's Valentine month. And so you're telling yourself that, what do I need to do to sell it? So you're also trying to like sell fast, right? Because like, once the season passes, that's it. So when you're doing that, like it then means that you have to communicate that urgency in a way to your customers. And the way that businesses communicate the urgency is through these discounts. So especially with like conveying that idea that it is limited. So when I say something is limited, or buy while there's this particular phrase,
While
offer
stock
valid
lasts.
while
While
stock
stock
lasts.
lasts.
Yes, I really like it because in my head I'm like, this stock might be 1 million, but guess who's buying it? I will be buying it. So I mean, when a yes offers valid while stock lasts, I mean, as everyone is rushing because you don't know if the stock would last at 50, you don't know if the stock is 1,000. I mean, you don't know, but you just see this really nice thing with this caption, with this slash, and then they'll make that slash 50% off, almost like taking over the flyer or the comms. So you feel like you're gaining something, and it just goes into the psychology of the buyer. So the buyer feels like they are saving money. But I mean, in hindsight, are they saving money? But the most important thing is that you'll be able to tap into the psychology of the buyer, and so the buyer buys because buyer, it's that season. Buyers probably planned for buying something for that season, even if it's gifting themselves. Because I mean, I gift myself a lot, so I've already planned that this Valentine, this is what I'm going to do for myself. So when I see something that looks like great deal, great communication, great visuals, great price, I'll definitely jump on it. So let's like I said in summary, the pricing, the just tying it into your loyalty scheme for your customers and using that to induce FOMO to your new customers or people who are seeing those engagements, and then inducing FOMO in your customers because this is a season and most people, just like you've budgeted for the discount, most people also are budgeted to spend. So you also want them to spend their money because you'll be doing them a disservice if you don't give them a reason to spend it.
All right, thank you very much, Nimide. I mean, you've said a lot as regards, running discount. But I have a question here. I'm going to direct it at Danny, right? So, how Nimide has explicitly given us insight as to how discounts can help, for businesses. But in cases like this where people don't think like maybe discount is the only way out. Like, okay, let me just read out the question. It says, must businesses run discount to stay relevant in seasons such as Valentine's Day? I mean, quite a number of people cannot be one package or the other. You see Ogogo package here and there on Instagram and the likes. So if they're not giving discounts, what else can they do to actually stay relevant?
So thank you, Maiwa. So I like that you mentioned package at the end of your question, right? So one thing, it seems to me like somewhere at the back of your mind, you've put packages together in the same bucket with discounts. Yeah. But is it really true though? If I tell you, oh, I have a Valentine's package, I didn't tell you my Valentine's package is 5% off or 10% off. I just said it's a package. It doesn't mean that I've taken out some amount from it. It just means I've specially curated this for the season. And that's really what it is, because I saw the, I'm like, you don't necessarily have to do discounts, right? One way to go about it is you can create an entire collection. I'm using fashion like Nimi used earlier, but that's an easy one to use. If I know Valentine's is coming, I would, okay, I'm creating clothes for this period. So it's a Valentine's collection, right? So my Valentine's collection, I'm not going to discount those. But the difference is this is not what you have seen already on my page, on my platform. This is new, it's something like everyone loves shiny things. We all love new things. So I'm more likely to pay even a premium for something that is shiny, that is beautiful for this season, as opposed to what you've had on your platform before then. Yeah. So that's one. Like shiny, beautiful things, yes, 100%. So new things work in this season. Just tailor it to this season, and then packages back to your packaging thing. That is, it's really key stuff like that. Like create a shopping guide, right? These are key items for Valentine's. Or you sell a whole bunch of stuff. Very much, you have maybe like a purse you can get for Valentine's, you have these shoes, you have that. It's a whole Valentine's package. Yes, if I were to see these individual items on your page, I'd probably not like connect it together, like they come together and this is great stuff to buy from you. I wouldn't buy if you had individual products, I wouldn't buy, say, 4 things from you. But if you put them together and told me this is what is best for Valentine's, yes, most likely I will buy that. And what that is doing is I've just increased the average order value for you of your products, right? And so great stuff. Okay, one thing as well. This one still somewhat speaks to discounts, but one thing that people really love, right, is free delivery. Yeah, I don't know what that thing does. Free delivery, like your is maybe 2,000 naira, 2,535. But the point is, when you see free delivery, you're more likely to go with even an item that costs more from this vendor than going for something that you're going to pay for the delivery from another vendor. So why not? Why not? If not, if anything, you can put like a cap to it. And there's a threshold to it. Maybe you're going to get free delivery when you buy things at 15,000 and above, 20,000 and above. It all depends on how much. Ooh, I think I went off right there. I'm not sure. Hi guys.
Okay, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So I think I was speaking to free delivery. So why not, if not, put a free delivery, put a cap to it. If your products say range from 30K and above, right? You say, okay, free delivery on items that are maybe 40K and above, right? It means that, okay, even if you have an item that's 30K, I cannot get free delivery from that one item. I need to get something else in addition to that. So these are some very easy measures, really, to get people to buy your product without running discounts.
Thank you so much, Damilola.
I
So,
wanted to add something,
okay,
Maya, to what
please go
Dami
ahead.
said. I mean, just from the case psychology thing, because I like to study why people do things. And, especially in this climate, right? Humans here, and even globally, not just like locally, like speaking to Nigeria alone, there's a hustle culture, right? And most times when we say the hustle culture, we think we're speaking to just the entrepreneurs or people who are working. But there's also the hustle culture in commerce, in the sense that people like to think that they've gamed the system, right? So they like to feel like they've won. And when you reduce the time spent on them having to search for individual things to put together and to make something one, when you communicate that there's some sort of like freeness to whatever it is they are doing, to when you communicate that, oh, it's just available for a very few set of people, right? They want to feel individual, they want to feel like they are different. So when you tap into all of the way that humans think, so and you present that package by just acknowledging those things. Like, first you said it's free, second you said it's just 10 people, third you've listed so many things that ideally like a normal person will not go around curating. I see a lot of packages that have candles, that have this, and the names are so weird. And you said that, oh, this was imported from this was bought from this. I know it all sounds like, oh, this is something that if I don't get, I won't be able to get it elsewhere. And humans will just generally go for things like that because they are tapping into that individual nature, that individual behavior of humans where we want to be different from others. We want to feel like we have won over the other person, or we want to feel like, we've won in some form, even if that winning is just the 2,000 naira free delivery that they've won. I remember the last discount campaign that we ran. And just saying free shipping, like Damilola said, and there was like incredible traffic, and it was just that free shipping was like the clincher, and then people were just hitting the marketplace trying to take advantage of it, and we also sort of like introduced that um, 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 limited time offer, saying that, oh, this offer was going to run from when the Black Friday started till the 31st of December. And I remember that, like Dami also mentioned earlier on, she said that taking advantage of collaboration for the merchants that we had on the marketplace. What this did was, when they saw that others were hitting them, they were incentivized to give more discounts on their products, right? Because we're sending like traffic for people trying to take advantage of the things on the marketplace at free shipping. And this then said, okay, if this is selling out, let me reduce price for this. Let me further reduce price for this. And it was all very interesting to see. I just wanted to add that.
All right, thank you very much, Cindy. So, like they both said, it's like we've said a number of things. I mean, aside wanting a discount, you can also include free shipping. There are quite a number of things that you can tap into, especially during the Valentine season. And it made me think of something, right? So, you know how people are quick to jump on influencer train? Like, you know how people want to have these influencers, micro influencers, and nano influencers, and the like. So, Dan, what's your take on that? I mean, okay, like some businesses that don't even have enough structure now jumping on that train of influencers. Like, how would you advise them?
So, one thing is this: small businesses. I would just classify small businesses as small businesses, right? Not everything is for everyone. Yeah, and that's how I see influencer marketing. And this is not, I mean, I did influencer marketing for my 9 to 5 for 3.5 years. So trust that I love, if I'm number one at influencer marketing, but you should know who your audience is, and the size of your business also influences what you want to do. Influencer marketing, yes, influencer marketing is, oh, I'm getting an influencer, they're putting content, they're creating content for and I'm putting it. But one look at this is, if my audience is really small, it's not even necessarily, let me even go away from saying you have a small audience. One thing you need to know is, why exactly do people use influencers? People use influencers because one thing that is key, people prefer word of mouth, right? As opposed to ads, so to speak, as opposed to a brand pushing their content or pushing products to me. People prefer that, okay, my friend has used this or somebody I know has used this. And that is why we use influencers. It's like, okay, you're doing the word of mouth for me. Yeah. More of what do they call it now? What's it called? What's the word I'm looking for? Okay, the word has left my head. But it's sugar. What's this word out of my head? But it's more of, anyways, let me go away from that. But the most important thing is, it's word of mouth. That's what I'm driving at, right? People that buy your products, they're not necessarily influencers, but you have humans, yeah, people that also have followers, or people that also have people that believe in them, right? So if I believe in you, for instance, Nimide is there are lots of things that Nimide has influenced you to do, right? It's just because I trust her judgment. Yeah. I posted a video, she's bought stuff from XYZ person, or she just even posted in her stories. So why not take advantage if you don't have that much? and you want to still tap into what influencer marketing is, right? You use your user generated content. Everyone is an influencer. I'm an influencer. Maiwa, you're an influencer. Nimide is an influencer. The only difference is the size of our influence. Yeah? So that's what it is.
Okay,
Take
thank you.
advantage of whatever it is, whatever size you have, like people around you have that influence, and then you can build on that. It's from one person. From I have the content, whatever it is, I pushed out to my audience. Say my audience is just 5,000. Of those 5,000 people, say I influence, say 250 of them. They take advantage of it. Another person posts again, and then. So that's user generated content. It's building, and then you get that influence you're looking for. So influencer marketing is not the holy grail. It is not the alpha and omega. Yeah, just cut your coat according to your size, really.
So if from what I took out from what you said is that people just want that personalized, like they just want to feel like, okay, this person has used it. I trust this person's judgment, and then that will influence my own decision, right? Yes. So that this leads me to another question, and I'm going to direct this to Nidhi now. Quite a number of businesses may not have thought of how to post sales this Valentine season, and it's seen as the sixth day of the month, and Valentine's is like just 8 days away. What's your advice to them, especially those who are just just about to put things together to bring about a good sales this period? And it seems like they're starting late, right? What would you advise them?
Okay, so I don't think there's anything like starting late. There's a market for late comers, late shoppers. In fact, during Christmas, for instance, the late shoppers are like they bring the highest traffic. So what I would say is before, if you're just kicking off, it's just important for you to know what's already there in the market. What are people already selling? What packages exist? Um, what are the price ranges of like similar competitors? Competitors that are doing similar things to what you're doing, and just deep dive into all of that research. And then when you do, then you then ask yourself, how do I want to differentiate, saying that these people have started, so how do I want to communicate my own? What do I want to introduce that is different? Do I want to do doorstep delivery for your vows? Do I want to add like roses to my package? Do I want to just bring things together better than what already exists? Or do I want to just work with a couple of people? Like if you have the bandwidth or the capital to introduce influencers into your business, I mean, like Dami rightly said, it's not for everyone, but if you can do it in a strategic way where, if my own decision around influencer is, how can I make that influencer feel really tied to my business? Because a lot of people would sign influencers, they do one or two posts, and they keep it moving. And so for me, it's like, how can I generate shared value between myself and this person? And it can come in the form of, oh, if you help me sell this through your platforms, you'll get XYZ off the number of sales that you're able to make. So then you have not just your own platform to push your things, you have the platforms of all these other people. So a lot of people have already started taking advantage of that initiative in the way of codes, I think, personal code. So you see an influencer say, use my code to get this. The codes mean that for every code that a customer is using, for every time that a customer uses their code, there's something that it means to the influencer. And so the influencer is more sort of like more incentivized to push the message, because it's generating revenue for them after all. So you just look into the market, what exists, what doesn't exist, what are people complaining about, because there's so many complaints. People are complaining about, oh, this package doesn't look so good, oh, this doesn't feel well thought out, oh, the quality of the items here. And I mean, so many people are saying so many things. So you just think like, okay, after everything that I've seen on what people are selling, what can I sell that is different, or how can I present my own differently, and how can I then collaborate with other people so that more numbers come into my store and I'm driving traffic to my online store, my physical store. So I think that's it. So there's always market for late commerce. Like people would leave their shopping to the day before. So there's nothing like it's too late for anyone who is worried.
All right. So for business owners on this board, if you're thinking that it's too late for you, just like Lindy has rightly said, it's not too late, and then you can always still come up with something and maximize sales with Valentine Spirit. So I have a question here for Damilola, and the person says, "Does influencer marketing work for enterprises? If yes, is there any data that proves that it can be used to motivate C-suite to consider it?"
So yes, Maiwa, and I think okay, Isaac asked that question. Influencer marketing works for every and anyone, for whatever industry it is you're in. Yeah, but the only thing is you need to know the influencer you're using, if anything. I'm not going to go if I was in real estate, I'm not going to go to a fashion influencer, for instance, to say, "Oh, I need you to push my product." You go to people that have the niche, the real estate niche. Those are the people you would use, yeah, for whatever it is you're doing. And I know he said something about what was it? Is there any data that proves this, and how do you push it? So there's a lot that comes with research, right? Because if you just take broadly, oh, influencer marketing, does it work or does it not work? You would say on a large scale, like you will see a lot of negative feedback on that. I will give an example of what Snoop Dogg did for some coal, for some a brand recently. It had something to do with coal and fire. Fire, he said no smoking. So whatever it is, they burn stuff, but it's smokeless, right? He did that, and it was a great campaign. But at the end of the day, they came out to say that there was no return on investment on that whole campaign. Snoop Dogg is, everyone loves Snoop Dogg, for instance. The only problem there is they tailored their campaign. It was a very broad campaign. They tailored the campaign to everybody, the whole world, because, oh, Snoop Dogg is everybody's favorite. So everyone is gonna love this and people are gonna buy our products. But no, that's not it. If you know your target market, you also know who is that influencer that's in that niche, and you use that person, create the right campaign, and it will work for you. Because that's also another thing. There has to be a lot of thinking to it. Whatever you're doing, you're just not going to say, okay, because I have an influencer, I'm going to work with this influencer and it's going to be a great campaign. You have to I would say take it as an ad. Yeah, look at it that way. If I was going to run an advert, what are key things I'm going to do? What are key talking points that I would have in my advert? Who is my advert tailored to? Who am I going to push? On what platforms am I going to push this? So all of that need to come into play. So for C-suite guys, the point is data would come for whatever industry it is. Broadly, they're not just going to take, oh, influencer marketing is working. If you even want to make it, if you cannot find data for the industry in question, find data for that influencer. Ask the influencer or influencers, ask them to send you like their own data. What is it? What's the engagement rate? Have they worked with any other brands in the past? What was the right? Nimide had spoken to voucher codes and what big part of why people use voucher codes. In my 3.5 years doing influencer marketing, from start to finish, one thing I was very key on was using voucher codes for all my influencers. And with using influencers that way, you know who is the right fit in terms of who actually converts, right? There are a lot of influencers today that have such great engagement on media and whatnot, and everyone believes that, oh, this person is going to bring me, the millions and whatnot. But if you ask me, like if you bring names to me, I'm going to tell you, I'm sorry, no. I've done campaigns with these people and they could not sell 5 products. Yeah? So the point is, do your research, go for your niche. Yeah, go for your niche, get data from the people, from these influencers you also want to work with, if the research is not enough. And you find the sweet spots. Yeah. And one thing, it's never one thing that's very important again is that we can fail at first and get it right the second time. So also don't be afraid to, okay, you've sold this to your C-suite guys. Yeah, you can say, okay, give us a period of 3 months or give us a period of 6 months and you will see XYZ returns, right? If you do that, okay, you start in the first month, you're using these number of people and you see that it's not converting, you change that strategy, get a new set of influencers in the second month. By your third month, you already have the people that are working for you and you can work with that data. And then after that period, you've given them 3 or 6 months, you've said you've put whatever KPIs, and then they see that, okay, this KPI is actually, you achieve them. So they're more inclined to give you a bigger budget or to just believe in this influencer marketing you've spoken about and do more of that in the future.
All right, thank you very much, Damilola. So we're going to be wrapping up very quickly, but before we wrap up today's webinar, I have a final question, and I want yourself and Nimide to answer it in a minute or two. So let's say that these business owners implement all the steps that we have shared here today, and it gives them great results. Is it advisable that they adopt the same pattern or the same strategy for other seasons, let's say Easter, Christmas, and the likes? Or would you advise that, okay, as much as it has generated great revenue for them, sales and the likes, they should also adopt other things and adopt other strategies? Okay, so Nimble, can you go first? So basically, just asking that, can they still implement the same strategy, or would you advise that they add other strategies to create a better result for other seasons?
Okay. So two things, right? The first thing to say is, you can get great results from one season, but for you to determine that this is process that works, I believe that you should have tested it for at least 2 consecutive seasons or 3. So test the same thing that you did the first time, test it for the second season, and if it then works, then you know that you have a solid process, right? And the thing about process is, if you continue to just implement the process at the right time, minor changes depending on the period. So for instance, we're speaking about color scheme. Valentine period typically has red, but you then say, oh, it's Christmas, so I want to still adopt that red because it worked. Oh, it won't work. Christmas comes with a lot of sparkle, so you want to change things around. You want your design to have a bit of sparkle. You want it to have all of those Christmas ornaments. And if you have a physical store, you want to rejig the look of your physical store. You want to put a bit of like Christmas lights, all the things that just attract people to it. So those are the only minor fixes, just adjusting things to fit the season. But in terms of like process can be, you worked with an influencer, you did your research, like you've learned here, and it worked. And you understand your audience, you align your inventory, you take advantage of like say create an urgency. You I think there was something Dami said about just tailoring your offers to the people that you're trying to sell for. The way you're speaking around it, the way you're selling for person A is different from the way you're selling for person B, that sort of thing. And when you've defined all those little things, I think that there's no harm in then just taking it and reusing, just adjusting for the different periods, but overall you have a process, you have a strategy that works. So that's my take. But I'm curious if to see if Dami has some sort of like alternative outlook to this.
Well, so to be honest, I'm with you on this, and it's really just, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah. If it's working for you, that's 100%. Continue to do that. The only thing is just add layers to it, so you know that you have a base. Yeah? So these are the steps we would ideally take. Maybe we'll do influencer marketing. Maybe we'll do discounts. Maybe do we have free shipping as well? Yeah, and maybe new collections. So we've established a base, right? So those are the 4 things we would always do for whatever campaign we're running, for whatever big campaign we're running. But then add to that, say, earlier I had mentioned stuff about gift cards, right? The seasons that gift cards are relevant to, you'd say Christmas, you would say Valentine's, yeah? You will not do, I don't think Easter, yeah, people would give gifts during Easter, but it's not really a gift giving period. So you would not necessarily do gift cards in Easter, yeah, but you would do gift cards Valentine's, Christmas. So that has, on the average, if you're saying, you would also not do gift cards for Black Friday. Black Friday is just a period to shop and shop at the biggest discounts possible, right? So I've given you 4 campaigns you're going to run in a year. 2 of those you're adding gift cards to it. The other 2, there are no gift cards to it. So great. What else? You can, I think we added free shipping already for this, but there are other layers you just keep putting. But because the point is, if you do the same thing throughout the year, it's one straight line, right? I might be excited, the consumer might be excited the first time, might be excited the second time. But by the third time, well, law of diminishing return sets in, and then it's really going down. So you need to add a little spark, add a little more to incite excitement. Again, so it's not like, oh, that brand, yes, now this is what they'll do, that is what they'll do. Switch things up with your base still constant, but you're switching things up, but you're adding more layers to it. But in a nutshell, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Right. Thank you very much, Nimide and Damilola, for sharing with us today. I mean, you've shared exciting nuggets that business owners here on this call can, adopt to drive sales and boost sales during Valentine's season and even beyond Valentine's season. So with that, we have come to the end of today's webinar. So if you cannot take your question at this point, we are in a little bit behind schedule. I just want you to know that for everyone who has joined us today, I can say on behalf of everyone that has been an interesting conversation, learning, the principles that we need to know to boost sales in and out of season. So I just want to take a moment to let you know that Zest offers an e-commerce platform, which is the marketplace and the storefront. So for business owners who upload their products on, just social media alone, please know that we have a marketplace and a storefront. Now, for the storefront, you can upload your products and then it reflects on the marketplace. It's a great opportunity for your customers to see the multiple products that you have in store. So please join the train and onboard and, join the storefront, open a storefront, upload your product, and take advantage of the Valentine's season. So yes, we have come to the end of today's webinar. Thank you so much, Damilola and Nimide, for your time and for sharing with us, insightful nuggets that we can run with even throughout the course of the year. So we'll be dropping a link now to our feedback form. Please leave a feedback, or rather, yes, just click the link. I believe the link will be up right about now. So just click the link and give us a feedback as to, today's webinar. It's the second webinar. We'll also have another one next month by God's grace, and it's going to be also insightful. So everyone who has joined us today, I want to say thank you so much for your time. Thank you for staying with us up until now. Please do not forget to complete the form, and we look forward to your feedback. We appreciate you, and we say thank you once again. So with that, we draw the curtains on today's webinar, and we'll see you next month. Bye, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you very much, Maiwa. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Maiwa.